Hello, everyone. Welcome to LifeSpeak, a new program on the Elevate Talk Show channel. I am your host, Deanna Johnson Cauthen. Today on LifeSpeak, we will be talking with Dana Wiggins. Let me tell you a little bit about Dana. Dana Wiggins is the co-founder and CTO of Seize, an app which conveniently connects travelers to affordable, quality photographers, enabling them to live life and capture it well. As a software engineer, Dana is passionate about using technology to solve everyday life problems. Now, Dana is a Gen Zer, and as the mother of a Gen Zer, I have discovered that there is a lot that this generation can teach us as older women about taking calculated risks and navigating our futures fearlessly. Because let me tell you, these Gen Zers, they do that the best. So, with that in mind, please take a listen to my interview with Dana Wiggins. Well, welcome to the Elevate Talk Show, Dana Wiggins. It is a pleasure to have you here. I'm so glad that you were able to take time out of your busy schedule to talk to me and to my audience.
Yes, I'm so glad to be here.
Terrific. Well, before we get started with our conversation, I want to take a moment to introduce you to my audience. Dana Wiggins graduated from the University of Maryland, College Park in December of 2020 with a degree in computer engineering. While at Maryland, she was an undergraduate teaching fellow for the electrical and computer engineering department's engineering ethics and introduction to programming courses, and a member of the Black Engineers Society and the University Honors Program. Dana came up with the app for Seize that she's a co-founder of in 2019. She said this: I was touring San Francisco one day and ventured up to Twin Peaks, but I couldn't get a good photo of myself there since I was exploring the city alone. She and her business associate, Al Tiergen, a University of California, Davis alumni, developed Seize, the app, a marketplace mobile application that connects travelers to photo takers at picturesque spots. So that's a little bit about Dana. And so Dana, lots that I want to ask you about. So let's get into our conversation. First, can you briefly share a little bit more about your journey that led you to becoming an entrepreneur and doing what you do now? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So as you mentioned, I went to University of Maryland and studied computer engineering. And that's really when I learned a lot about like computer science and all that you can do with computer science, basically building things to solve real world problems. And I was really interested in that. Also, when I started off in college, I was a part of UNCF Koch Scholars program, which focused on entrepreneurship. And I didn't have any ideas initially freshman year. And when I was going through the program, I still never had an idea. But I was exposed to so many great entrepreneurs.
Wow.
And every day, like when we would go to our programming, I'd be so amazed and I'd be like, okay, I'm just waiting on my idea,
Yes.
waiting on my idea. um, Fast forward, I did some internships while I was at University of Maryland. And then I was interning at Zillow as
Yes.
software engineer. And that's when I went to San Francisco
Yes.
and I was going to all these picturesque places,
Yes.
beautiful places.
Yes.
And I couldn't get anyone to take my photo. And
Ah.
that was a pain because
Yes.
my dad actually is a photographer, so he's really good. And he's
Yes.
usually the one always taking photos of our family when we go
Sure.
places. And then I'm the one who's always taking photos of my friends when we
Right.
go out, but no one can do it the way that
Ah.
I want it,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So
Exactly.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
like sat on that for a little bit, that idea. It was burning in me. I told a lot of people about it.
Yes.
And then one day during I call
Yes.
it a routine
Yes.
pandemic check-in with my co-founder Al. I talked to her and I
Yes.
was like, she called me with her idea. And
Yes.
I was like, well, I have this idea. And she was like, that's great.
Yes.
And then from that point forward, we started working on C's.
Wow.
And yeah.
That's wonderful. You know, it's so funny because I'm the photographer in my family. There isn't a day that goes by that I don't take a picture. And I am, like you said, there have been times when I've been out and about. Most of the time, I'm not alone. I have my 20-year-old with me or my husband's with me. But there have been a few times when I've said, okay, I need to get this good picture, but who's going to help me take this picture? And so I think it's ingenious that you came up with this idea. I am so excited. So, and I've stopped total strangers on the street and say, hey, can you just take this picture of me? I just need it right here. No, 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 not right there. I need you to face like this. It's crazy. So
Yeah.
when I realized, when I saw what you were doing, I thought, oh, this is brilliant. I love it. I love it. I love it. So now, let's talk a little bit about entrepreneurship. That's a subject near and dear to my heart since I've been an entrepreneur for many, many years. Why, though, did you choose entrepreneurship over a traditional 9 to 5 job? I read in one of the articles that I found when I was researching you and your company, that you originally did get hired by a major company, but you quit. So tell
Yeah.
me more about that. I'm burning to know more about why.
Yeah, yeah. So yes, I was at Microsoft
Yes.
prior to going full time on Seize.
Mhm.
Um Pay was great,
Yeah.
everything was great, the people there were great. Um but um I'd say I knew that I
Mhm.
was going to be an entrepreneur when I was at one of my internships,
Really?
and the internship said it was a government job,
Mhm.
and it told me my expected retirement date, and
Oh.
it said 2050 something, and that scared me.
Oh my,
It scared me because the thought of working 9 to 5 every
oh my
single day for
God.
one company with one for one company, sorry,
Yeah.
and that being what my life would be, that
Oh my
scared me.
God.
That truly
That's
did
so
scare me. So,
funny. That's
I w
so funny.
yeah. So since that day, I was like, I have to find a way to
Yes.
n to not
Yes.
be in a place where I'm
Yeah.
just showing up,
Yes.
but be in a
Yes.
place where I'm passionate about the work that I'm doing.
Sure.
Um, I can potentially shorten my retirement date, right? I
Definitely.
can retire much sooner.
Yes.
And so from then on, I was like, okay, I'm gonna find work that I'm passionate about. I'm not just gonna
Wow.
be working just to make ends meet. Like I want to
Wow.
find something I'm passionate about. So yeah.
Wow, that's wonderful. I have a 20-year-old, almost 21-year-old. She graduates from college in a couple of months. She'll be graduating early. She did college in 3.5 years. But
Also,
she said the same thing you're saying. I can't imagine working for a company that long. Just basically to make ends meet. It's just so funny, y'all's because she's a Gen Zer like you. Y'all's
hmm
perspective is so different than your, well, maybe not so much your parents, but definitely your grandparents, where the idea was get a good job with the local factory or in the government, or maybe if you have some profession, stay there 35 years and put that money in that pension plan, and then after 35, 40 years or not. You guys think very differently than your parents and your grandparents, and so I find that funny and fascinating. Not funny in a haha kind of way, but just different. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And
yeah,
I
no,
love it. But with that being said, not every Gen Zer is going to either wants to be an entrepreneur or really has the ability to be an entrepreneur. So, we want to kind of address that aspect of it because everybody's not going to be able to do what you do. So, with that being said, how can employers attract more Gen Z workers and retain them?
yeah, yeah. I think to attract them, it's really like what are you offering, right?
Yes,
Nowadays, after the pandemic, a lot of people, if they can, they
yes,
want to be remote. If
definitely,
their job will allow, they want to be remote.
definitely.
So gone are the days of spending
Yeah,
30 plus minutes in traffic
that's
commuting to
right.
your job
That's
when you
right.
could do it from the
Yeah,
comfort of your home. So
that's right.
that's one thing, just like being flexible.
Definitely.
Um, definitely can attract more Gen Z.
Definitely.
In an effort to retain them, I would
Yeah.
say keep them interested in the work that they feel passionate about. Like keep them interested in the work that you have them doing.
Okay.
Find whatever
Yes.
is what within your company. Find whatever they're super
Yes.
interested in, want to learn more and
Wow.
passionate about, and
Wow.
place them in that area.
That's so good.
Because a lot of times people are leaving because the work
Yes.
they're doing isn't fulfilling.
No.
And I know for certain companies, like
Yeah.
um, the larger it is, the
Yes.
less like autonomy you have over all the
Yes.
work, and you feel like you're just a little fish
That's
in
it.
this
That's
big
it.
ocean,
Yeah.
and you're like you can't even see where your impact is, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And Gen Z wants
Yeah.
to make impact
They
in some
do.
way or
I looked it
another.
up. You guys do. You really
Yes,
do.
yes,
And you value autonomy, and like you said, making a difference. One of the things my daughter said is also, we hear what you say. My daughter said, tell your listeners who are from an older generation, we hear what you're saying about us. We hear that you say that we're lazy, we're this, we're that. Stop saying those things because it's not true. We're not lazy. We're just doing things differently than what you guys are doing.
yep.
So would you agree with that?
Yeah, yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
I don't think Gen Z is different or is
Yeah.
lazy.
Right.
Gen Z just has a different perspective
Definitely.
on life,
Yes.
and that being like we want to enjoy life.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and we want to whatever we do,
Yeah.
we want to enjoy doing that.
Definitely.
We obviously, you got to make money, you got to
Right,
do
right, right,
certain
right. Got to
things,
make a
but
living. Yeah.
yeah, you have to make a living, but if you can control how that works,
Yes.
Gen
Yes.
Z's gonna do it. Like,
I love it. I love it. I love it. So now, what on that same in that same vein, what other misconceptions do you think people from other generations have about your generation that you would like to clear up? We talked about, I mentioned my daughter talked about laziness. Are there other misconceptions that people think about Gen Zs?
um, let me see.
Mm,
I honestly think a big one is
yes,
the lazy and the work
yes,
ethic.
yes.
Like
The work ethic.
that's the biggest one. A lot of people
Yeah,
like they just don't want to work.
yeah. They don't.
No,
They
we want
don't
to
want.
work, but
Yes. Yeah.
we want
Yeah.
to feel some type of connection to the work
Yes,
we're
yeah,
doing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Um,
during that, one of the things that I remember that being said early, as the pandemic ended, because there's been all these, if you I don't know how it looks in your city, but I know how it looks in Atlanta. Everybody's hiring. Everybody needs, I mean, there's for hire signs in almost every store I go in. And I remember hearing some government person official say, well, these people don't want to work. They got their checks. This was not too long after the stimulus checks came out, and
mhm.
now they don't want to work. And I'm thinking, what checks did they get? Because the checks that I got would not keep me out of work that long. But it
Uh-huh.
really wasn't that. It was the fact that people, people in general, and specifically, the younger generation was like, we're not going to be tied down to a desk. We've got options. We're opening out. A lot of people, opted for opening their own business. They realize, hey, we can do something different, something better. And so it's not like you said, it wasn't that people didn't want to work. They just wanted to work differently.
Yeah, most definitely. And, the pandemic really like
Yeah,
changed it for a
it
lot of
did.
people because
It
they're
did.
like, life is so short.
Yes.
So if I'm gonna be spending my so much of my time
Yeah,
working and doing this, I want to do something that I enjoy.
absolutely.
So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So now you're the co-founder um and chief operating officer of
No, so
Seize?
CTO, so
Yes.
Chief Technology
Oh,
Officer.
chief technology of Seize, which is the app that connects people with local photographers. Tell us a little bit more about that. I want my audience to know about what you do.
Yeah, yeah. So C's, we're on a mission to capture life well. We want people to be able to live in their moment and have great photos when they're making these new experiences while they're traveling to different locations. We are helping travelers get
Yes.
connected with professional photographers to have great photos that capture their memories.
Wow.
Currently, we are in DC,
Mhm.
and we're just now launching in New York. Kind of right now, we're
Yay.
ramping up on the photographers.
Good.
Um, our major product that we have is the Seize Photo Pass, which is
Oh,
like super exciting, and I can't wait till it's in every single city because
oh,
I'll be using it in all the cities. But basically, how that works is we're allowing travelers to capture their entire trip.
yes.
So instead of like planning a 1 hour photo shoot at this one location,
Yeah.
with the photo pass, you get
Yes.
mini photo sessions at all of the top tourist destinations in that city.
Oh my.
So, like for example, in DC right now,
Yeah.
if you were to purchase a photo pass, you'd get
Yes.
photos at the White House,
Yes.
the Lincoln Memorial, the Capitol, and you have all
Wow.
these short little
Yes.
sessions.
Yes.
And you just show up, the photographer's waiting for you,
Oh my
and you live
goodness.
your great moment. So
Oh,
that's where we are now.
yes.
Our end goal is to be more of like the Uber for photography, where you
Yes.
can just
Yes.
um, connect with a photographer really quickly. But
Yeah.
that is what we're doing now, is focusing on the travelers. We have
Yes.
partnerships with tour companies
Oh,
and
that's
different
wonderful.
picturesque venues. So we're
That's
hoping to get in Atlanta very
yes, I
soon.
know.
But
We are. I'm going to be singing your praises and putting it out there and talking it up. I think this is fantastic. Now let me get it straight. So, for instance, if I was in like I'm going to New York this weekend, so I land in New York and I say, oh, I want to go to the Apollo Theater and take some fun pictures in front of the Apollo. So I get online and I connect with one of your photographers via the Seize app, and then
yes,
they meet me there?
so we have two offerings. One is if you want to schedule like a private
Yeah,
personal shoot. So that would be what you would do for the Apollo, right?
right,
You can book like a 1 hour session at the
sure,
Apollo, get your photos taken.
right,
But if you want to get like multiple photo sessions at
yeah,
different
right, like,
locations within New York, you would
sure,
get the photo pass, which
yes,
already has like the number of spots in there, and
yes.
you just show up during the time frame,
Oh,
and you get your photos taken. So yeah,
oh, that is genius. That is genius. I love it. I love it.
yeah,
Well, how wonderful is that? So now, before we end, I want you to speak to others who might be inspired to move into this whole entrepreneurship arena. What advice would you give another Gen Z person who's thinking about becoming an entrepreneur? I mean, you know, you're on this journey, but speak to the people who haven't started the journey, who are thinking, oh, maybe I could, maybe I should, maybe I would, but I'm scared. Speak to those people.
yeah, yeah. I'd say if you are considering it, you need to do it.
Really?
Start the steps. If you're considering it, just start the steps, start getting some research, figure out who your market is.
Mhm.
Just start giving the idea some time. Don't let
Wow.
it just sit there
Yeah.
and get cobwebs around it in
Yeah.
your head,
Yes.
right? Like just
Yes.
give it some thought, do some
Yes.
research.
Yeah.
And once you do the research, either you will feel more compelled to keep
Yes.
wanting to work on that
Yes.
idea, right? Or you'll be like,
Yeah.
maybe this
This is
isn't
not
what I
right.
want to do.
Right. Right.
Um,
Right.
and then once you do start the entrepreneurial journey and
Yeah.
you are an entrepreneur trying to
Mhm.
starting your own business, taking things from 0 to 1, right?
Yes. Yes.
My advice would be to hold on to the highs and brace
Yes.
for the
Yes.
lows,
Oh, wow.
because they are
Yeah.
inevitable. Lows are
Yes. inevitable.
inevitable.
Yes.
But you will have some great times,
Yes.
whether it's
Yes.
like getting a grant or getting
Yes.
accepted to a particular program, like you will have some highs.
That's great.
So just hold on to them.
That's great. And now, do you find, do you connect with other entrepreneurs to kind of just for support? Because, like I said, I've been in this a while, and it's like you said, there are highs, but there are lows, and it helps to have other people, who are on, not necessarily maybe officially a part of your team, but just other entrepreneurs. Do you find yourself connecting up with them in any time?
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah,
There's you have to
yeah,
lean on
you do.
the support of other founders who are
Mhm.
in this space,
Yeah,
because not everyone can
yeah,
be a founder, not everyone is going to, not everybody wants to be, right?
right. That's right.
And that being said, it's a different experience. It's not like
Yeah.
it's very different when you are the one
Yes.
creating
Oh my
something from
goodness.
nothing,
Yes, it
and
is.
you are the one who
Yes.
are trying to make the wheels turn, right? It's very
Yeah, yes.
different.
Lot. Yeah.
So not everyone can understand that.
No,
Your
no,
friends won't, your
no.
family might not.
That's right.
Um,
Yeah,
you'll get,
they love you and they care about you, but they don't get it. Oh
yep.
my, yeah.
They
Mhm.
do not get it.
Yeah.
And everything they'll say, like, how's the business going? And
Yes.
little do you know, that might be like
Yes.
things might not be great that time, right? And
That's
that might
right.
not be something you want to hear. So
Yeah,
there's
I
just so
know. I
many
know.
things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you need other people who understand, other people in the entrepreneurial community who understand the challenges that come with this. It's
Yes.
hard. It's, for me as an entrepreneur, and I'm doing, I'm able to do a little bit better about this now. But
Hmm.
I did everything. I was the administrative assistant. Of course, I'm the content creator.
Hmm.
I'm the accountant. My husband helps a lot, don't get me wrong, but I was wearing 17 hats.
Yep.
And you have to be careful not to burn out too.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Burnout, yeah,
Burnout is real. That's
yeah,
real.
it's a real thing. Well, that's it's wonderful to see your enthusiasm for what you do. I think it really is a genius idea. And we are praying and wishing you the absolute best. And we can't wait for you to come to Atlanta with your
Okay.
product. We are looking for you. So continue to do good things as I know you will, and we will talk again.
All
So
right.
thank you for taking time out your schedule, Dana. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All
Thank
right, be good
you.
now. We'll talk later.
All right.
Bye bye.